The phone call lasted 7 minutes. 7 minutes of anger. 7 minutes of words they couldn't take back. Elton John and Princess Diana fought like they never had before. She hung up. He stared at the phone. "I'll call her tomorrow," he thought. But Diana never made it to tomorrow. August 31st, 1997. The crash, and Elton's last words to his best friend were said in anger. Let's go back. 1981. Elton John met Princess Diana at a party. She was shy, quiet, just engaged to Prince Charles. Elton was already a global superstar. They shouldn't have become friends. But they did. Immediately. There was something about Diana that Elton recognized. A loneliness. A need to be seen as more than just a title. Diana felt the same about Elton. Behind the fame and the flamboyant costumes, she saw someone who understood what it meant to live in a cage. Over the years, their friendship deepened. Elton would visit Diana at Kensington Palace. They'd sit for hours, talking, laughing, crying. Diana told Elton things she couldn't tell anyone else, about her struggling marriage, about the isolation of royal life, about feeling trapped. Elton listened. He never judged. He just understood. And Diana trusted him completely. 1992, Diana and Charles separated. The fairy tale was over. The media tore Diana apart. Every move she made was scrutinized, every relationship dissected. Diana was drowning in public opinion, but Elton was there. He called her every week, sometimes more, just to check in, to remind her she wasn't alone. Diana would say, "You're the only one who really knows me." And Elton would reply, "That's what friends are for." 1995. Elton released a song called Believe. He dedicated it to Diana. The lyrics spoke about holding on when everything feels hopeless, about finding strength in darkness. Diana cried when she heard it. She called Elton immediately. "Thank you," she said. "I needed that." Elton told her, "You're stronger than you think. Don't let them break you." Diana promised she wouldn't, but the pressure was relentless. July 1997. Elton's close friend, Gianni Versace, was murdered. Elton was devastated. The funeral was in Milan. Diana attended. She sat beside Elton, held his hand through the service. When Elton broke down, Diana whispered, "I'm here. You're not alone." After the funeral, they walked together. Diana said, "We've been through so much, haven't we?" Elton nodded. "And we'll get through more." Together, Diana smiled. Always. But life got complicated. August 1997. Diana was in a new relationship. Dodi Fayed. The media was obsessed. Photographers followed Diana everywhere. She was exhausted, overwhelmed, and she started making decisions that worried Elton. She was pulling away from her old friends, spending all her time with Dodi and his family. Elton felt like he was losing her. August 20th, 1997. Elton called Diana. "Are you okay?" Diana's voice was tight. "I'm fine." Elton didn't believe her. "You don't sound fine. What's going on?" Diana sighed. "It's just, everyone has an opinion. Everyone thinks they know what's best for me." Elton softened. "I'm not everyone. I'm your friend. Talk to me." Diana was quiet for a moment. "I know. I just need space right now." Elton didn't push. "Okay, but I'm here when you're ready." August 30th, 1997. 11 p.m. Elton was at his home in the south of France. The phone rang. It was Diana. She was in Paris, with Dodi, but she sounded upset. "Elton, I need to talk." Elton sat down. "What's wrong?" Diana's voice was strained. "I don't know. Everything feels wrong. The press won't leave me alone. I can't breathe." Elton said, "Then come home. Leave Paris. Get away from all of it." Diana hesitated. "I can't just leave. Dodi is here. His family is here. It's complicated." Elton felt frustration rising. "Diana, you don't owe anyone anything. If you're not happy, leave." Diana's tone shifted. You don't understand. It's not that simple. Elton said, "Then help me understand." Diana snapped, "I don't need to explain myself to you." The words hung in the air, sharp, cutting. Elton was taken aback. "I'm just trying to help." Diana's voice was cold. "Maybe I don't need your help right now." Elton felt anger bubbling up. "Fine, do whatever you want, but don't call me when it all falls apart." Diana went silent. Then she said quietly, "I can't believe you're being like this." Elton shot back, "I can't believe you're pushing everyone away." The silence was heavy, painful. Diana's voice cracked. "Maybe I need to?" Elton's frustration peaked. "Then maybe you should figure it out on your own." Diana's breath hitched. "Fine." Elton said, "Call me when you calm down." Diana replied, "Don't wait by the phone." And she hung up. Elton stared at the receiver. His hand was shaking. He felt a pit in his stomach. He'd never spoken to Diana like that. Never. He put the phone down, told himself he'd call her in the morning, they'd apologize, laugh about how ridiculous they'd been. It would be fine. But Elton couldn't shake the feeling. Something felt wrong. He went to bed. Couldn't sleep. Kept replaying the conversation, the anger, the hurt. He should call her now, but it was late. She was probably asleep. He'd call tomorrow. First thing, August 31st, 1997, 4 a.m. Elton's phone rang. He was in a deep sleep. Fumbled for the phone, his assistant's voice. Panicked. "Elton, turn on the news. Now." Elton's heart sank. "What? Why?" The assistant's voice broke. "It's Diana. There's been an accident." Elton shot out of bed, turned on the TV. Breaking news. Car crash. Paris. Pont de l'Alma Tunnel. Princess Diana. Critical condition. Elton's legs gave out. He sat on the floor, staring at the screen. Images of the mangled car. Reporters speculating. Dodi Fayed confirmed dead. Diana rushed to hospital. Elton grabbed his phone. Tried to call someone, anyone, who could tell him she was okay, that this was a mistake, that Diana was fine, but no one answered. The world was waking up to chaos. 6 a.m., the announcement. Princess Diana had died. Elton collapsed, sobbed. His partner, David Furnish, held him. Elton kept saying, "I didn't call her back. I didn't call her back." David tried to comfort him. "You couldn't have known." But Elton was inconsolable. "I was angry. I let her hang up angry. My last words to her were angry." The guilt was crushing, unbearable. Elton couldn't eat. Food tasted like ash. Couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he heard Diana's voice. "I can't believe you're being like this." Her last words to him, spoken in pain, in anger, and he'd responded with anger. He'd told her to figure it out on her own. What kind of friend says that? What kind of friend lets someone they love hang up in tears? David tried to help, brought him tea, sat with him in silence. But nothing helped. Elton just kept replaying that phone call over and over, like a film stuck on repeat. The tone of her voice, the hurt, the moment she hung up, the click, that final click. He remembered staring at the phone, feeling angry, feeling justified, thinking she was being dramatic, thinking she'd call back, thinking they had time. But they didn't have time. Time had run out at 12:23 a.m. in a Paris tunnel, while Elton was sleeping, while Diana was dying, while the world was about to shatter, and Elton's last gift to his best friend had been anger. 7 minutes of anger that he could never take back. 7 minutes that would haunt him for the rest of his life. September 6th, 1997. Diana's funeral. Westminster Abbey. Elton was asked to perform. He couldn't speak, could barely stand. But he said yes, because Diana had loved his music, and this was the last thing he could do for her. He rewrote the lyrics to "Candle in the Wind." originally about Marilyn Monroe, now about Diana. Goodbye, England's Rose. The day of the funeral, Elton sat at the piano. 2 billion people watching worldwide. He looked at Diana's casket, covered in white flowers. He thought about their friendship, the laughter, the tears, the trust, and that last phone call. He started playing. His voice cracked on the first line. Goodbye, England's Rose. May you ever grow in our hearts. Tears streamed down his face. He could barely get through it. But he did. For Diana. After the funeral, Elton locked himself away. Wouldn't see anyone. Couldn't face the world. David stayed with him, let him grieve. One night, Elton broke down completely. I failed her. She needed me and I was angry. I let her down. David held him. She knew you loved her. One fight doesn't erase years of friendship. But Elton couldn't let it go. But what if it does? What if her last memory of me is that fight? Weeks passed. Elton started going through old photos, found pictures of him and Diana, laughing at events, sitting together at Versace's funeral, hugging at Kensington Palace. He found a note Diana had written him years ago. Thank you for being the one person who sees me. Not the princess, just me. I love you for that, always, Diana. Elton held the note, cried. She did know. She knew he loved her. One fight, 7 minutes. It didn't erase everything else. But the guilt never fully left. In interviews years later, Elton has spoken about that night. I regret it every day, not the fight. Friendships have fights, but I regret not calling her back. I regret letting her go to sleep thinking I was angry. I regret that my last words to her weren't I love you. 2007, 10 years after Diana's death, Elton performed Candle in the Wind at a memorial concert. He dedicated it to Diana's sons, William and Harry. Before he played, he said, Diana was my best friend, and I miss her every single day. I hope she knew how much I loved her. I hope she forgave me. The audience was silent. Then William and Harry stood, applauded, and Elton knew. Diana had forgiven him, because that's who she was. Today, Elton John is 77 years old. He's performed thousands of concerts, written hundreds of songs, lived an extraordinary life. But when asked about his biggest regret, he always says the same thing. That phone call, August 30th, 1997. I wish I could take it back. Not the friendship. That was perfect. But that call, I wish I'd said something different. I wish I'd told her I loved her, because you never know when it's the last time. August 30th, 1997, 11 p.m. A phone call, 7 minutes, words spoken in anger, words that can never be unsaid. Elton John and Princess Diana fought. She hung up. He thought there'd be time to fix it, but time ran out. And Elton learned the hardest lesson of all. Never let someone you love leave angry, because you might never get the chance to say you're sorry. The last phone call, 7 minutes that changed everything. Elton still thinks about it, every day, and he carries Diana with him, in his music, in his heart, in the way he lives his life now, never taking friendship for granted, always saying, I love you, because he learned that tomorrow isn't promised, and the last words you say matter. They matter more than anything.